Title of the story: The Cat and the Bell. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a group of mice in an old barn. The barn was warm, filled with bags of rice and wheat, and it was the perfect place for them to live happily. But there was one big problem: the farmer's cat. The cat was clever, silent, and very quick. Whenever the mice came out to search for food, the cat would suddenly pounce and catch them. Because of this, the mice were always scared. They could not eat in peace, and even playing outside their holes became dangerous. One day, all the mice gathered in a secret meeting. The oldest mouse stood up and said, "We cannot live like this forever. The cat is too dangerous. We must find a way to protect ourselves." Another mouse said, "Let's fight the cat together." But the mice shook their heads. They were too small and weak compared to the big, strong cat. Another mouse said, "Let's fight the cat together." But the mice shook their heads. They were too small and weak compared to the big, strong cat. Finally, a clever little mouse jumped up and said excitedly, "I have an idea. What if we put a bell around the cat's neck? Then whenever the cat comes close, we will hear the bell ringing. We will have time to run away and hide." The mice clapped their paws with joy. "Wonderful! Brilliant! That will save us all," they shouted. But then the old wise mouse raised his voice. "Yes, it is a clever idea, but who will put the bell on the cat?" Suddenly, the room became silent. The mice looked at each other, but no one spoke. Each mouse thought the same thing. "If I try to put the bell on the cat, I will be caught and eaten." The clever mouse who gave the idea lowered his head in shame. "I thought of the plan, but I do not have the courage to do it," he admitted. The oldest mouse then said, "My dear friends, ideas are easy to make, but doing them is much harder. A plan that cannot be carried out is useless." The mice understood the truth of his words. They had to be more careful and wise, not just dream of impossible solutions. From that day on, the mice did not waste time thinking of plans that no one could do. Instead, they learned to be alert, move quietly, and work together to gather food safely. The cat still lived in the barn, but the mice were no longer careless. They had learned a valuable lesson. True wisdom is not just in making plans, but in finding ways that can really be done. Moral of the story: it is easy to propose impossible solutions, but true wisdom lies in making practical plans that can be carried out.